Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. As we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news the surprise rise in the official Australian interest rate benchmark comes as the Chinese yuan weakens sharply past 4.1 to the US dollar. A weaker Chinese economy and higher regional interest rates will cause inevitable ripples in New Zealand. But first today, there was another dairy auction this morning and another weakish one. For a second consecutive time, prices fell 0.9% in US dollar terms. But this time, this was more than made up by a weakening New Zealand dollar. In local currency, prices rose 1.7%. The American retail impulse continues to weaken, up a meagre 0.6% last week from the same week a year ago on a same-store basis, far less than is needed just to keep up with inflation. And the US Logistics Managers Index reached a new all-time low, and for the first time in its 6.5-year history, it has moved into contraction territory. And Canada reported some grim residential building consent data overnight, sharply lower in April than March. And their widely watched local PMI wasn't too flash either, falling to a modest expansion when a rise to a good expansion was anticipated. In China, most large state-owned banks are now sharply cutting deposit rates for customers. Not only is loan demand anemic, but Beijing is concerned about very high savings rates as households worry about their future prospects. Lower savings rates may induce some to spend rather than save. In Europe, the destruction of the giant Ukrainian dam on the Dnieper River is causing widespread havoc downstream. It is likely to cause wheat prices to rise globally too, as a key part of that trade is now completely shut down. In a surprise to analysts, the RBA raised its cash rate target by 25 basis points yesterday to 4.1%. It was their 12th rate rise in a row. It was a surprise because it was different to what those analysts had interpreted the RBA guidance to be, not from what many thought they should do. And the US Treasury 10-year yield will start today at 3.7%, a little change from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $1,965 an ounce, and that's up $4 from yesterday. And oil prices have slipped 50 US cents to be just under $72 a barrel in the US, while international Brent price is just over $76 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today little change at 60.7 US cents. But against the Aussie, we're sharply lower, down 3/4 cent to 91 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're little changed at 56.8 euro cents. That means our trade weighted index is down another 20 basis points to 69.1 from where we left it yesterday. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.